Citizens complaint, Elizabeth Lazio.
Elizabeth Lazio Berkoven, but I live at the 185 Davis Road. Mine is not as serious as the other people here, which I wish my offer is still available for the water. I had an incident in April where I cannot see the road from my house. I have a long driveway, trees blocking it, and somebody from the town decided to park their tractor in my driveway. So I was not able to have access in or out. It was in April when the town office was closed. When I tried to get out, as I said before, I take in foster kids. I have 3 developmentally challenged foster kids, so my schedule is very full with appointments and everything like that. So my little bit of free time to myself to do what I need to do is limited. On that particular day, I found out that one of my great-grandchildren was born prematurely on life support. I had to get into town to get some medication for myself, and I couldn't get out. This tractor was parked in my driveway. I called the town office, nobody there. Called this department, nobody answered the phone. I waited for about 10 minutes, walked up and down, couldn't find anybody. Lufkin Road was, what, 100 feet away from my driveway? They couldn't park there. Nobody ever goes up and down that road. I was having heart palpitations, which I have had before. Had nothing to take for it, had to get out. I had a total of 35 minutes to get from my house into town to buy something to take and get back home. I decided on my way down the road to stop in here to see if anybody, because I saw the doors were open. 2 gentlemen, one sitting right here, and another younger fellow, were both sitting in there, feet up on the desk, just chatting away. Could have been their lunch break, which they are entitled to. But they didn't ask to use my property. I needed to get out. In order to get out, I ended up breaking off a part of my new car. Only cost $116.50 to replace, but I don't feel that I should have to pay for that. Now, if I didn't get out and had continued to feel sick, the ambulance would have been able to come and get me because they couldn't get in the driveway. No deliveries would have been able to come in. I just feel that I should not have to pay this $116.50 when this truck is parked there. Now, I understand that, you know, they needed to park somewhere. Had they wanted to park in my driveway or on my property, all they had to do was ask. I have plenty of room where they could have done so. But to block me from getting out for a limit, for a period of time, I have no idea how long it had been parked there, but there was no real effort to come back and do it in a quick manner. It's not like they said, drop it here, run back and get another something rather than come back. They were sitting here BSing. That made me a little unhappy. And I just feel that the town or somebody should be paying for it other than myself.
First question, when this complaint was received, did you reach out to the town's insurance company?
No, I gave this, you talking to Vicki? No, I turned it into the town office.
Okay, good, so it was for clarity. Now,
I gave you a copy as well.
The same day? Yeah. Oh, that was the same day?
Yeah.
Okay. So, in your letter, it appears I'm sure you were frustrated when you wrote this, because you threatened to damage town property.
Oh, well, I did tell them if it wasn't moved by the time they came back, that yes, they would be probably damaged onto their vehicle.
Okay. And
but in the meantime, damage was done.
You had 35 minutes, like you expressed. You took some of that 35 minutes to stop in here and find them on break.
Yes.
How long?
I drove fast.
Like.
Because since the timer wasn't, the meter wasn't put up in front of the school, and even now it's still not on half the time.
Not at all.
So.
You can can drive any speed you like. I'm not
I know, but I'm
police
just saying, even now, I can't tell what speed I'm going when I come by the school because it's not working during the
That's
day.
all his opinion.
Did the former road commissioner ever plow out your driveway and get stuck?
There was one that came in there one time and he tried to do something because, again, they plowed right into my driveway. Couldn't
So,
get out.
how long is your driveway?
I didn't even blink, 1,200 feet.
1,200
And he only
feet.
got
Whereabouts
about,
did you get stuck in it?
probably the first 25 feet.
Okay, just curious. So the town has been good to you?
No, because they've never, in 10 years I've been there, they've never patched the same damn holes in front of my house.
Okay, yeah.
Why don't you ask Paul?
Well, I'm not done asking her.
I know,
Oh, well, I'm not really proud.
I'm up here, I try to mind my own business. I didn't even meet my neighbors for what, 10 years? You know, I mind my business. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to cause problems. I just want
Why
to.
would you have waited 5 months, 5.5 months for this?
Well, number one, the town was closed half the time.
Well, I don't think the town's been closed for the last
Number
5.5
two,
months.
I didn't know I could file a complaint and possibly get reimbursed. And number three, I really just don't want to come down here and have to deal with people like you.
Oh, thank you. Anyway, I don't have any more questions, and I'm going to let you proceed.
I would just say, why don't you talk to the road commissioner and get his take on the whole thing?
He was not the road commissioner, I don't think, at that time, were
Yes, he
you?
was.
In April? Okay.
I told her I was sorry. It was one of the other employees' first day. He parked it there. We came back here to get more patch. Yeah, he parked in her driveway.
I mean, there was
Reimburse her.
That's all I'm asking, because as I say, there was a road, another, Lufkin Road, if anybody's familiar with the area, the dirt road, nobody goes down it. There was no reason for it.
Well, someone like me, we don't want to deal with that. I will make a motion to reimburse this lady for her damage.
Thank you very much.
I'll make a second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Now, I have a few things that I plan to air. I've been taking the heat for a good long time. So, there is a controversy about the last two gatherings held by the citizens of the town of Woodland here. There's been no meeting called to order on the 19th. There was no meeting called to order on the 26th. However, there was a video camera going around the town garage here that night, and on that video recording, Mrs. Willett says that Tom Drew gave no reason for not attending the meeting on the 26th. Now, I have a copy of email, okay? That's what I did with my spare time today. It's another reason I couldn't get my email set up. But if anybody would like a copy of this, I've got 60 or 65 of them printed, which is
Did you pay for that?
I absolutely did.
So.
County quick print. Not a problem. Don't you worry. I did, because I knew that would be asked. So Tom Drew went to County Quick Print, and he paid for these copies, and they're a gift to anyone that would like one, because in those emails are the answers as to why I would not attend a meeting held on the 26th. There is open dialogue, legal dialogue, okay, between two sitting board members of my concerns. So on the 19th, I received a phone call. And our town administrator was having troubles, issues, healthy issues. She was having a problem. And that was a distraction to me. And I'm not trying to say that cruelly, but when you're milking cows, and you're the only one there, and you have to step out of the barn to take a phone call, 10 minutes, you're gone. I took 3 of those phone calls. I lost a half an hour. And you can't not finish milking cows. Mr. Tardy, then the chairman, called me. I think it was like 5:02. And I explained to him that our town administrator was on the way to the hospital. And I probably would be late for the meeting. However, I plan to attend. He told me, come when you can. I think, according to the recording, which was started at 5:31 and ended 3 minutes and 48 seconds later, when they turned around and turned it off, I showed up. So that put me 5 minutes roughly late. And in my possession, I had all the material. It was to be handed to me, actually, when I arrived, from the administrator to be able to run the meeting on the 19th, which had already been, well, not really canceled because it never had been called to order. So the problem with all this is you get held accountable to everyone's standards, and we all just have a new rule book to follow. But I was trying to follow the state of Maine's rule book and the past practice of this town for 15 years, which calls for a meeting to be posted 7 days before the next meeting. Not necessarily mandatory, but it's past practice. It's what we've always done. Why would we be doing anything different? So the meeting that was not called to order, which is just a gathering. So that means when the public was asked if we should postpone the meeting or not, whatever you did or said doesn't matter because nobody called the meeting to order. It states that all in here, and I suggested hurriedly to see if we could get past it. Harold told Bridget to post the agenda. Wednesday morning would be good enough. But you know what would have been good enough? If they agreed to have a meeting Tuesday, it would have been good enough to have posted it that night on the way by the bulletin board.
Actually, I was
And I'm not criticizing you at all.
But I would like to say something to that.
And
I was
when I'm done, you
told
can
by
say.
Harold that it was okay to post that the following morning. I was actually just asked to do it, but it wasn't said that it was okay to just do it that way.
I was told differently. So that's all. I'm repeating what I've been told. I was told that it was said to post it Wednesday morning, which would have meant you couldn't have had a meeting until the 27th, which would have been a Wednesday, by law. It's that simple. Is that correct, Mr. St. Pierre? You do have to follow the rules, right?
You have to follow the rules.
That is the rules.
But it doesn't really say 7 days.
Well, it does say. And that's exactly what MMA told me over the phone.
No, you don't.
Well, I'm not going to stand corrected because I know what they told me. That's the point. And we have always posted 7 days. Always. Always.
So the people that was here in the meeting.
No meeting. Didn't get called to
Didn't
order.
get called to order. Even though they all voted that they had it on the 26th. Does it matter?
The meeting wasn't called to order, Mr. St. Pierre.
I realize.
You know Robert's rules. You know how to run a meeting. You know what wrong from right. And that's why I'm asking you, because I look towards you for that guidance. So you can't really go back on that because it fits you for the day. The point is, there was no meeting called to order. Any vote taken isn't a vote. We can't have orders out there if there isn't a forum. The only place people are accountable, elected officials, is in a meeting that's been called to order and then adjourned. And I just wanted to follow the rules. And I adamantly gave options which were denied, and the discussion is in the emails. And it's available if anyone would like it. And that is the truth. That is the truth. The truth is not that Tom Drew didn't give a reason for not attending on the 26th. That was not the truth. I'm just saying. I'm always at odds here because everyone has a definition of what they think I meant or what they thought they heard. It's right here. It's right here. All you have to do is, you don't even have to have an FOIA request. You can have a copy of this right here, right now, tonight when you leave. So,
Anybody else want?
Can you pass that?
Well, I'm just gonna make it simple for everybody.
Pass the whole
Yeah.
pile. We'll pass it along.
You want the rest of it?
Pass the whole pile.
I don't.
Can you pass it along?
I can.
now we're going to remain in order, so this is still not a living room. This is an official meeting. It was called to order. Okay? I just want to make sure we're on the same page. But it's about time for me to defend myself just a little bit because I've taken quite a lot of heat for about 12 or 13 months. And those days are over. I'm going to evolve now into a butterfly. okay?
The thing
I'm
is,
tired.
The chair asked the citizens of our town if we wanted to postpone it or have the meeting.
Doesn't matter. If the meeting was not called to order, the chair wasn't the chair, he was the citizen. Just like if I wouldn't have called this meeting to order, this wouldn't be a meeting. The only place that select people have any authority throughout the course of a month is at a meeting of the select board. It has to be a called to order meeting. Otherwise, all I'm doing is running my mouth because I have no authority whatsoever. None.
Okay.
Unless the meeting's called to order, and it was not called to order. That's simple as that. Let's not argue the facts. There's no bias. There's nothing to fight over. I don't know why they didn't call the meeting to order. I wasn't here. I came just like I said I would, and I met people leaving, and I don't understand that to this day. However, that is what I faced when I came here.
So we should have had it the following week.
You should have had it on Wednesday, the following week. That is correct, because they could have posted it. However, one of the excuses for canceling the gathering was we had no town administrator. And the town administrator had a pre-approved training, approved by the chair, and she was to attend that training. And it would have been just wise to make sure she could have been present the following week. If that meeting had been held on the 26th, it was alleged that she canceled her training, which I thought was not fair because it was pre-approved. Again, no bias, nothing to argue about. It's simply the facts. So it makes good common sense to try to hold a meeting where your officials and employees can join you at the table. So if we cancel a meeting, a gathering, because she's not here, and whatever excuse was given, and then we reschedule a meeting for the following week knowing she's not going to be here, I don't know what kind of catch-22 that is, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Now, I hope I've cleared that up. I have had open dialogue with this board, and it is my intent to move this town forward. That's all I care about. Okay? Now we're going to go to...
I would like to speak to that.
Yes, go ahead.
You got a few minutes?
Sure. But all night long, cows are melting.
Great. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't give me a reason why we couldn't have the meeting. He gave me 4 reasons why we couldn't have the meeting.
But you said he didn't give you that.
I said he didn't give me a legitimate reason, okay? He didn't give me a reason not to have the meeting because when first thing he told me is Harold's name is on the agenda. And Harold, in fact, gave us each a resignation. So I called MMA and I said, is that a qualified reason not to be able to have the meeting because Harold's name is on the agenda? She said, not a problem, skip over it. When you get to Harold's name, either you can accept his resignation, or you can say what you want, or you can just move over it. An agenda is not written in stone. It can be moved around. So the next thing he did is he gave me a 7-day rule. And here's the actual guidance from MMA that gives you the 7-day rule. From the Maine Municipal Manual, and this is what this guidance says. This guidance said, the broad language allows the municipal officers to use common sense when notifying the general public of upcoming meetings. Formal published notice, for example, is not required to regularly scheduled meetings which are held on the same day of the week or month at the same place and the same time. The public would be considered to have ample notice of those meetings if the town report or some other document states that the regular time and place of the meeting is advisable, though to have a standing notice or regularly scheduled board meetings. Pay special attention to this. On the other hand, it is important to provide ample public notice for any regular meeting that must be rescheduled for a time or place different from the normal schedule. So it doesn't say it's got to be 7 days, it doesn't it says you must give them ample notice. Now, there were 65 people here that night of the 19th, and we said, we felt like what you said counted. What do you want to do? Do you want to sit here and wait for we don't know how long, or shall we do it next week? Everybody here had a vote. And there were no people voting that didn't live here, by the way. And we took their vote and we moved forward. We respected your opinion that night. Yes?
I can just speak for myself. I didn't know, I had forgotten that Vicki wasn't going to be here, or I wouldn't have. Like, I would have changed my vote if I would have known that she wasn't going to be there.
I didn't know Vicki wasn't going to be here.
Well, I remember from a past meeting.
No,
that
she went to the hospital that night with health issues.
No, I'm talking about the second night. I was here the night it was supposed to be, and she went to the hospital. I wouldn't have voted to have it the next week if I would have remembered that she had a training.
Well, I didn't remember that she
Right,
had
that's
a
what I'm
training.
saying, so
Well,
that's
let's
different.
Let's talk about training. Let's talk about Vicki's training. Vicki was going to a training about tax liens. The tax liens were done for this year, and they were going to give her the update on the new policies within tax liens. However, and I asked, can't she wait? She's been out 3 days last week. She's coming back on Monday. Can't she be here for that meeting? We've got 65 people in a room that voted to either have it or not have it. They all know about it. Miss Lezok from the paper was here, made sure she knew about it. The next morning, I emailed Paul Pelletier, and I asked him to put it on the sign for the 26th, and I bet you were, what, 5 minutes? You got back to me, it's done. So we went ahead and said, Tom, these people are all aware of this, everything's been done, the paper's been notified, it's on the sign, why can't we have it? Okay, now we're to number 2. Vicki had a meeting. Here's the meeting that's going to be held in 2 days from today, on the 19th, and it's going to be held by Maine Municipal, the same place she was going to go. He said I was wasting taxpayers' dollars by asking her not to go. We would have forfeited $15 if she'd have called the day that we told her, and the meetings are $55. So this meeting right here is it's gonna cover the MMA Municipal Lien Manuals, and is put on by the attorneys at Maine Municipal. So she very well could have attended this meeting. Okay, I'm still going here. I've got one. Okay, and then the next item you gave me was there was no quorum. Okay, there was no quorum if you're not going to attend. You never held into consideration.
I told you I wasn't going to attend. I didn't make it a secret.
Okay, you told me you weren't going to attend. You never took it into consideration, excuse me. You never took it into consideration that Harold Hardy was still our chairman and still a sitting selectman. He would have been for that meeting.
Then where was he?
He wasn't there.
Because he's ill. That's why we all know why. Well, yeah, but you gotta understand the rules of a quorum. You've got to understand that. I will read that to you. Here's a quorum, folks. It says, a quorum is the number of voters necessary, a number of board members necessary to constitute a legal meeting for doing business. Unless otherwise defined by local charter or ordinance, which we have none, a quorum is a majority of the full board members.